April 17th. It's 11 o'clock here in Regina. If you're watching from back home in Ontario, it is currently 1 o'clock. There's 2-hour difference right now. I'm just gonna log on. If you are watching me live, please say hello. Please say where you're watching from. If you're catching the replay, please say replay. I would love to hear about it. So let's see, am I on? Joy's sunny here. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. So sunny here in Regina, very windy today. I don't know if you're getting good weather where you're from. I know back home in Ontario, we had some snow. So that's been a bit challenging. And today I'm going to continue with our year of flowers. So I do love this bundle. I just want to share a little project with you today. It won't be as long as yesterday. If ever you want to catch yesterday's replay, it is on my YouTube channel. It is also on my blog, and there's a link right there. So you could just go to kimmcgillis.com and you'll get to see that. Thank you for everyone who's ordered. I know that the new reward system program is running smoothly. It went well. I saw some of you are already getting rewards, which before you needed to have like $200 to earn like that percentage, and now it's 10% for every $25 Canadian. So some of you have already started earning rewards, which is amazing. Okay, so I am going to put my screen down. Today I'm not sharing a bunch of projects. I am just going with what the creation is all about. I know I shared so much yesterday about leftover classes and so on, but not today. So I'm going to put my screen down and we are going to catch up here. I might do a couple of little adjustments. And yeah, you may hear my phone bing today because I see that I'm in a bunch of groups and they are chit-chatting today. So, not too bad. I think I'm happy with this. Hello, Fran from Indiana. How's the weather back home over there? Is it warm in Indiana, or I don't know? I've never been actually, but I'd love to go one day. So let's see. So this is the year of flowers. I love that some of you have shared with me that you weren't considering it, but now you are. I'm going to continue sharing a couple more projects, and maybe I'll convince you that this is something you might want to have. And then these are the dies. They are stunning. I love when there's some foliage. I do love this die as well. Somebody yesterday was sharing that they do have the numbers on the dies. So we know that one is January and then we have 2 February, March. I put them in order, so it's kind of fun. Today we're going to play with April. Yesterday we played with July because July is my birthday month. So that's why I had made this card yesterday with flowers from July, so you can catch the replay. We're gonna play with similar products today. I just wanna show you an alternative of what you could do with this same collection and what you can do. Yeah. So I don't know if you've been watching me live forever or you're brand new here. If you're brand new, welcome. A couple of months ago, I think it was in December, I had shared a calendar, and this was January. Let's see, right now it's not cooperating with me. So this was my January month, and then there was also, we did February together, so I featured some of the collections, and I think this was for a part of celebration, so it's free with an order. And in March, I went with the storybooks because I thought, oh, it's so cute, it's springish, so I thought that this was gonna work well. Fran is saying I was not going to get the set, but then I thought it would be neat to put on the back of the card for each for a few months. Absolutely. Hi, Jordan. So Jordan is my daughter, and her birthday's in July as well. So we're going to be celebrating. So I'm going to turn 50. My oldest daughter is going to turn 25, and Jordan's going to turn 20. So we want to have like this theme going and celebrate all our birthdays together, because there's 2 birthdays in July and then 1 birthday is in June. So should be interesting. I am still going to use our hole punch assortments. They're kind of fun to do and use. I love them for ribbons. So we're going to still use that 1/8 circle this morning. I also shared yesterday this mini corrugated 3D, and it's gorgeous. So this is something that you might want to add to your list. I've used it numerous times, a great option as well. I'm not going to do step-by-steps today, but let's work on our April calendar. So if you're wondering, I've had lots of questions about this. These came from IKEA. I had them and I've had them forever. I have a bunch of them, but there's a newer model at IKEA. So if ever you want to get that, you still may do so. So it is available, the newer model. So that's an option. So today I'm going to keep going with the same colors. I'm using basic beige. I've already pre-cut this piece. It is 3.5 by 5 1/4. And then I'm gonna go and use our flower that is about April, and we're gonna go basic beige on top of basic beige. Fran's saying she thinks I'm still a kid. I wish my body doesn't feel like it's a kid. So I did try it with Versamark. I just felt that the Versamark was too light, but you can try it as well. And this is gonna be like my background. So I'm going upside down, different ways that you could just add a couple of images. Perfect. Here we go. And here and here. So I'm just going to show you. So I use basic beige. I'm continuing with a color combination of basic beige, petal pink, early espresso, and old olive. You'll see those either on Facebook or also on my page. But look, this is just a basic background where we have the month of April just listed there. Now, yesterday I shared about the two-tone cardstock, so I do still have some here. It's going to come in every single color starting in May. So look, we get to see here the dark side and then the lighter side. So I'm just going with a 1/2 inch that we're going to layer on top by 3.5. And I'm going to do the same at the bottom. And we're going to add another piece at the bottom. So remember when we made our card yesterday, I ripped this part of the basic beige. It's like a 101 basic technique. Well, I had left over, right? Because we ripped the paper in half. So our other half, why let's not spoil it. So it's just gonna go here on top. It's the leftover piece, 3.5 by about 1/2 inch. And then let's crumble this piece one more time. Perfect. And then I'm using a piece of early espresso. Again, my leftover from yesterday, it's 2 3/4 by 3.5. Remember how it wasn't as long for this piece? So I had it as a leftover and decided, you know what? This is gonna be perfect for our layers this morning. So, just gonna add, I don't know why, I like the lighter side of it. If you want to use the darker side, you can do so. Let me just try to get that glue out. My goodness. I need to take out my little muscles this morning. Okay, I got it. So here we have it. And then this is just going to layer right on top here. And what a beautiful color combination. So we have this part. Now we're going to do the same for our crumble little piece ripped of basic beige. It's going to go on the bottom part right here. And then we're going to use this leftover piece, which we're going to add right here. like I told you yesterday, green glue, multi-purpose glue, it does not, it's not permanent until it dries completely. So that's why you saw it slide off right here. So this is gonna layer right on top here. So we are gauging as our card. I did share yesterday that there's so many things that you could do with a two-tone, like rip your card, crumple it, sand it. So I still have my sander. If you don't, just take a nail sander, but Stampin' Up used to have these little sanders, and then just fold it. Like the fold, you see the dark side and the light side. So both are great. Now, I don't know if you are all aware that there's a last chance list going on, and one of the dies that I truly adore, actually, I love a lot of Stampin' Up's dies because I could reuse them for shapes and for other projects, so they're kind of practical to use. I do love that we get to see this little background right here, and then at the bottom, I am gonna flick a little bit of crumb cake sparkles. I'm gonna use my darker side and just add a little bit of sparkle right here. So the Merriest dies, I don't know if you've seen those. They are so fun. They are on the last chance list. The code is 162047. They're not in order here, but it has the Christmas stamp set. The stamp set right now is low inventory, but they do still have the dies and they're on special. Sometimes it's worth checking. Do I grab the bundle or do I buy them separately? Because it could be cheaper. Anyways, these were great. I really, truly love them. And then in there, there's this tiny, bitsy little die. I'm gonna show you like this. And this is what I've been using for my calendar. So it is a great die. I think right now it's 20 some dollars Canadian. You might want to invest in them, even if you don't buy the stamp set, because I find that it puts some strength into this portion. If you don't want this one, I guess you could cut your own little piece and then just add it. But I do like that it has that little design on it. And is very versatile, especially if you'd make your own calendars every year. So I did die cut it with our leftover pieces from our two-tone petal pink cardstock. Now I'm just gonna wait for this to dry. Hi, Joan from Washington. Oh, Naples. I love Naples. What a beautiful area. We've been there. My brother-in-law had a house there. And I just find Naples very pretty. I find your beach is very nice, and a couple of cool restaurants and shopping spots. But look how delicate and beautiful this has a spring vibe to it. Now, the Year of the Flowers, like you have seen, has these. This is a beautiful die that you could use as tag. I've already pre-cut them in basic white for you. And I've cut 3 just like a card. And we could still layer them one on top of each other. Now comes my 1/8 punch. And little tip that I shared yesterday, you want to just mark where you want to cut that. So if you're not into card making, then you know you could just do the same layout, but for a scrapbook page or maybe a binder, and do the 12 months. So I'm doing my calendar today, and I do really love the stamped image in the background. It provides so much texture. Let's grab our linen thread now. And one more time, I'm gonna go in front like this. And then we're gonna tuck in from the back. And then one more time from the front. Just like this. How cute is that? Let me grab a couple of dimensionals here. Now you don't want these to go outside of your borders, so they will be tucked in. It's going to be very different from yesterday's cards. Why is because we will want to flip our calendar, so you don't want anything in the way for your sides. So I'm just going to go right here, and it is going to layer one on top of each other, and I'm okay with that. I just love the textured look. Here we go. And we're going to do our last one right here. Perfect. Let's just snip the end. Just like that. You do want to create a little bit of spacing, so we could just tug and have some of it stand out. One more time, I'm grabbing my crumb cake, splattering a couple of specks here and there. Now you could do different layout, you could keep the same layout, up to you. The easiest way here, let's see, is grabbing your mini glue dot with your pick tool. I don't know if it flew here, but let's try. And then, like I indicated, you want to tuck these right in because we don't need that portion. But I might add a bow onto this one today. So whenever you just grab your mini glue dot, and then this is the way to tuck it right inside, and it does not pop back out. So I'm going to tuck every single piece right here. Perfect. We got this. I don't know, do you like, not sure when your birthday is. I'd love to know which month you are, but I do love a bunch of them. May is so pretty. I love May. I do have a couple of favorites in there. So I don't know, let me know what your birthday month is so I can know which flower you are. Love to know that. So now we're going to tuck in the other side. Here we go. Just like that. If you don't want any linen thread, you don't need to do this step. I just love lots of texture. I'm a texture girl. I have lots of them. And now we're just going to tuck this portion right inside. And the reason I'm doing this is, look, when I turn it on the opposite side, at least now I don't have any of that ribbon popping up. So now I just made these little calendars and just made them from Canva. You could purchase some at the dollar store. There are some online. I just chose to make my own. And then this is just going to be centered right here. So we have the calendar portion right here. And then yesterday I showed that if you grab a blending brush with some ink and you just put it on basic white cardstock, you could review that video. Then you could make your own foliage after processing these dies. So you could just look at yesterday's video for that. And then I made a bunch of foliage. So then this is where I'm going to be tucking, just like I did for my card, for my little calendar. So how cute is that? And then if you find that they're too long, you could just cut the stems off. So you could just pull this portion off of the stem and then just tuck them in. Because remember, we cannot have these come out too much on the sides, or else we won't be able to flip our calendar. So, And this is great to add to a craft room. It's a great gift to give to someone. And it's also a great place to have a reminder of whose birthday it is. You could add on the back a list of people's birthdays. So every month you could check, okay, how many cards do I have to do this month? And then just add a list either with a Post-it or even some lined paper, and that could be fun as well. So at least you know whose birthday it is for April. My brother's birthday is in April, so I'll have to mail him a card. And I'm just adding these like I had shared with mini glue dots. I find it's a great way, it sticks well. I think I'm going to do one more, and then we're going to color our flowers. Oh, Karen's saying that her birthday's in September. That's so fun. Look how cute this is. So now let's look at our flower. So our flower for April is this cutie. I do like it. So we're just gonna grab some scrap pieces. Yesterday I showed you how to color with the watercolor pencils. Today we're gonna be using the blends just because there's not that much coloring to do with this flower. And then we're gonna do Memento Tuxedo Black ink. So if you're wondering, this is the one. And then you just wanna do a couple of these. Perfect. So I made them in black just so they would stand out just a little bit more than when we did the other ones. Now, yesterday I shared that I use these Post-it stickies. If you have washi tape, you could do the same. This is what goes better, I find, if it's non-stick to die cut, because you want a proper die cut. So if you're using this, then it won't move around. So you could get those on Amazon, at Staples if you're from Canada, but it's a great way of cutting these. And now I'm gonna use, I know I shared my color combo, but I am still using some light daffodils. So we're gonna do all our centers. Imagine if you're doing a bunch of months, is so relaxing. How cute is that? Especially once you die cut them, right? And then I'm going to use Old Olive. And I know it's going to die cut, but if you use the fine side, I find that it goes better. You could still use the watercolor pencils like I showed yesterday, or then just use these. I do want them to stand out. I'm going with an odd number. It's not like our card where I did 5 yesterday. We're just gonna need 3 today. There you go. Look how cute these are. So delicate. So I'm gonna die cut them. And then once die cut, we're gonna add to our project. So let's see how cute. It's just gonna add more color here. Now, I don't have my mini glue dots yet because I want to see how am I going to place them. I do want some texture. Oh, look at this. How cute. And I'm just going to tuck this one. See, I'm playing with it to see how adorable, the texture, how cool is that? Okay, so now that I've layered them and I know exactly where they're going, I'm gonna use a dimensional this time. So you wanna place them. Oh, cute. And then, so imagine doing the calendar. You could choose the same layout. You could switch your layout to something different, but that you're doing every single month in different colors. and just with the flowers. So that means you only need one stamp set and not a bunch of different collections, right? Because you would be doing the entire calendar with this. Now, just gonna do my double bow. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're gonna loop around. So I always measure first how long I want it, but let's do this again. So 1 loop, 2 loop, 3 loop, 4, and then we're twisting around, and you're just tying like a shoelace. I'm just gonna tuck in right here. Perfect. And the tighter you tuck it, the better it is. And then we're just gonna add this at the bottom. It's a little shabby chic calendar for May. So are you a fan of basic beige? Initially, I didn't think I would love basic beige, but now I simply adore basic beige. Use some of the neutral sequins. I also tag these. You could just add them here and there on your project. I don't have any more of the smaller ones. I like to combine larger ones, smaller ones. So we're going to tuck these in a little bit. But there you go. So here is our calendar for April. I'm going to come here. I could add some ribbon if I wanted to, but just going to add this right here. I'll have to take a nice picture with it in my studio too. And then we're going to add the opposite side. And there you have it. Look how cute this is. Card making or calendar, it's both are kind of fun, right? So I know some of you have made this calendar after seeing my first couple of pages. Tag me, please. I'd love to see the turnout. I do love the color combination as well, Sonia. Karen's saying, love basic beige, great neutral. Me too. I feel that I don't use crumb cake enough anymore because I'm always going towards this color. I think compared to yesterday, I do love that we stamped the background as well with the same flower for April, but it's just adorable. Imagine doing something for Mother's Day with our Mayflower, and May is gonna be so cute. Look how cute these are. I do have something else to share with you about this entire collection and extra tips. I just can't do it today, but it will come in maybe later this weekend or probably Saturday. We'll see. And then I also want to share a tiny box that we could do little love notes with this collection. So if you have the Year of Flowers, you'll want to come back and see what we're making with it because there are great options with this beautiful collection. So a quick video today. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. I will see you most likely tomorrow. Bye-bye.